Hello, and welcome to LendAPI Academy. My name is Kay, and this is episode 1 in our Introduction to LendAPI series. In this series, I'm going to be teaching you all of the features and functionalities that are offered within the LendAPI ecosystem and teaching you how to build your very own product inside of the LendAPI platform. So, before we get started, I want to give everyone a quick introduction of what LendAPI is. LendAPI is a low-code, no-code platform that allows you to be able to build and release your very own fintech products without the need of ever writing any code. What makes us special is our easy to interact and very powerful decision engine paired with an array of different functionalities and features that allow the user to be able to release and create powerful underwriting or risk management products without the need to actually write any Python code. So if you're interested, please navigate to our LendAPI website and click the Get Started button. And when you're ready, simply get started and start creating your account. Once you create your account and log into our platform, you will be taken into the LendAPI instance. So let's give you a quick rundown of what you would see when you log into the LendAPI platform. When a user logs into the platform, they'll be taken into an empty state in the application page. And the first thing you'll see is on the left side of the platform, you'll see a really large and comprehensive list of different features and functionalities that are offered within our ecosystem. Starting from the top, we have our Applications, Customers, and Tenants tab. This menu set is specifically designated to our back office feature. As a LendAPI customer, you will be able to have your very own back office instance, much similar to most enterprise platforms such as Salesforce or even Retool. This particular product allows you to be able to control, monitor, and navigate all of the different applications or onboarding that is driven through your product, as well as give you a list of all the unique customers. Underneath the back office menu, you'll see our workflows menu. This is really the heart and soul of the LendAPI product. This is where a user would go in to actually build and release their very own product within the LendAPI instance. So under the workflow menu, you'll have all of the different features and functionalities that allow you to be able to piece together all of your products like a Lego set. Then right below that is our tools menu. So the tools menu is really the testing and reporting aspect of LendAPI. So because we are a key decision engine platform, and we deal with a lot of high risk and security based industries, the testing capabilities are pretty robust within the platform itself. We offer out of the box back testing, A/B testing, and shadow testing features within the LendAPI platform. And all of these are available for all users to be able to test their decision trees as well as their products. Then below that is our reports tab. So the reports tab is a events-driven tab that will report on the states and statuses of the applications and users that have navigated through your um, particular product. And we also have a full reports generation tool for our decision trees. So once you've utilized our decision engine and you want to see how well your trees are performing, we do allow you to generate reports here. And then finally, we have our settings tab. And this is where we will start with as a new user to the LendAPI platform. So although it seems counterintuitive, uh, my recommendation for any new LendAPI user is to start in the settings tab and go from a bottoms up approach. So the first tab that any new user should interact with is actually the global settings. In the global settings tab, you'll be able to set up your LendAPI based functions and features, as well as stand up your particular company properly. So when you navigate here, you'll see your company's tenant name, which has been lifted from your sign up experience, and as well as some common and base information associated with your particular product. We offer you the capability to set a prime rate for any lending products to utilize as kind of a starting point when generating things like interest rates or APRs. Then right below that is our configuration setting. So this is really important for any new user to the LendAPI ecosystem. The configuration setting allows you to be able to set base security and how your overall product is going to be able to function when it's launched. And the first thing you'll see is the two-factor authentication toggle. This turns on two-factor authentication for all of your users that are signing into the LendAPI platform. That means that if you are a credit team that has multiple analysts that require multi-factor authentication, turning on this will automatically turn on an OTP factor. Um, so everyone that signs in needs to do a two-factor authentication. Next to that is a multiple email application. This is actually going to be specifically utilized for your products. So within most fintech products, email is utilized as a unique identifier. That is the same exact idea here with LendAPI. We utilize email as a unique identifier, which means that we will flag and um, auto trigger email notifications for emails that come in for the same email that comes into your application multiple times. So if someone is trying to apply for a loan more than once using the same email, they will automatically be flagged and stopped in the process. Of course, you have the capability to allow multiple applications with the same email, and toggling this on will simply do so. Otherwise, the default experience for all LendAPI is to flag duplicate emails. And then the third toggle here is our state selection. So the state selection feature here at LendAPI is actually utilized to help you release your products if they are state or compliance specific. So what this means is if you are trying to release a product that is specific or only allowed in certain areas or certain states, you can select the states and areas that you want to operate in, and when an application comes in that is not part of that state, it will not be triggered or will automatically be declined or stopped in the process. So all you have to do is select the states that you want to add into your tenant state, and that will automatically trigger the rest of these to be null. Um, for now, I'm going to turn this off. For our test product that I want to build, we're actually going to try to leverage it for all 50 states. And then underneath the 3 configuration toggles, we have our application settings. So this is actually the first step to do some interface setting within the LendAPI system. So what that means is part of LendAPI's product value is we actually offer you a low-code, no-code UI interface builder, like a website builder. And because of that, we allow you to do some of the branding and logos as well as text and content that you can actually set inside of your particular product. So you will see here that I've changed my particular logo from the LendAPI default logo to one for my brand. And all you have to do is set your logo here and copy it into your product. And this logo will automatically be set for both your external users as well as your internal platform. Below that, we have a footer text. So the next few text blocks are actually specifically set for your external facing users. So if you are utilizing LendAPI to actually launch an application or some sort of customer interface, and you want to set content, this would be where you would set some of the baseline content here. And the first of which is footer text. So for things like applications that you will build in our product studio, the universal or global footer text can be set here. And of course, you have the capability of dynamically changing that at a later date. But this is really to set like compliances or global setting or operating rules that are common within within footers. After that, we have our content for our outcome stages. So, common to the fintech world, for any sort of underwriting um, or risk analysis, there are 4 common outcomes that can be reached. Those outcomes are approved, in review, decline, and of course, withdrawn. And as a part of making the overall build more simplistic, LendAPI has hard coded these particular 4 um, settings to be available for all users. And what that means is once you program a decision or a rule to reach an approved state, there will be a specific page or modal that will pop up inside the approved state, and a content will be shown. And here is where you can set that content. So imagine having an approved application for a loan or some sort of underwriting experience, and the user has been either pre-qualified or approved for an offer, they will be able to see this content within their product. And of course, it's the same exact status in in review, decline, and withdrawn. And all of these content will actually be uh, navigated back to and reprogrammed when a user sets their decision outcomes, which we will talk about in a later video. So, if you want to set any specific compliance or content or language for a user to see when they reach a certain state or an outcome, you can do so here. So with that, we've seen most of the global settings here. The last two pieces of information I want to touch are up here. Of course, if you have any changes you want to make within the global settings, always make sure you save the changes. Otherwise, it will not be reflected. And then finally, we have a sync workflow to sandbox. As part of the LendAPI package, each user will be given a sandbox environment. This allows you to be able to navigate and actually play around within a sandbox environment without the need of touching your production. So if you are creating any sort of test or any sort of experience and you want to utilize Sandbox to do so, we have a specific environment set up for you. And as a new user, you can, of course, play directly inside of production. And when you're ready and want to freeze production or only test within Sandbox, you can simply click the sync workflows to Sandbox, and this action will be able to sync all of your workflows, all of your active workflows or default workflows over to your Sandbox environment. And you will see here, once you are in Sandbox, the Sandbox badge is turned on, and whatever you've synced over from your production environment will be able to be seen here. And of course, with LendAPI, like most other software, our Sandbox environment has its own set of servers and instances, so it does not cross-pollinate with our production environment. So with that, I want to thank you for connecting with our LendAPI Academy, and please come back for our next video. In this series, we're actually going to be teaching you how to build your very own personal loan utilizing LendAPI. So, as always, please follow and subscribe to our Academy channel for new content and understanding how to utilize this platform to its full functionality. Thank you, and as always, have a nice day.